I've talked before about all the problems with Ethereum, and there's plenty to be concerned about. Sheila, get the keys, the internet man's bashing ETH again. But here's the thing. Markets don't always trade based on deep analysis, particularly on shorter time frames, especially when it comes to crypto. This is a place where dog and frog coins hit multi-billion-dollar market caps. People think we're a serious industry. The leading risk indicator right now is a token called Fartcoin. It's true. So why, despite all the many and ongoing points of contention around Ethereum, is it pumping? And I'll recap some of those later for you. But ETH itself right now, been pretty damn bullish recently, you've probably noticed. That doesn't mean it's a forever hold, and at least not for me, maybe for some of you guys, but perhaps there's a trade here. So settle in, explain why ETH can simultaneously be looking kind of kicked in the balls recently, but also be outperforming the market. And a big part of that comes down to risk reward on ETH. This cycle's been really just a Bitcoin-led cycle with some meme coins popping off from time to time. There's been some niche sectors. There's been some new things come along like Sui or whatever that really popped off. But really, meme coins, AI, Bitcoin, that's been the big place. Solana did well too because that's where meme coins live. But ETH is often thought of as its own category of existence within crypto. It's not an altcoin, it's Ethereum, man. Usually we expect a rotation from Bitcoin to Ethereum to alts, with ETH the first to benefit when Bitcoin dominance comes down, as it has been doing recently. Now, ETH-BTC ratio looks like it might have bottomed out around 0.0175 or something like that. Thus a boost for ETH, and perhaps that's the signal that ETH is giving off right now. There's going to be a big incoming crazy altcoin season. But the general sequence of events hasn't really played out as we'd normally like to see it, at least not yet. And in fact, look at ETH's price on every occasion Bitcoin passed 100K this cycle. You'll find that ETH keeps going down while Bitcoin keeps powering up. So either ETH's kind of fundamentally cooked or, well, don't forget how markets work. It offers very good risk-reward return ratio. If we get the final blow off top, well, I'm waiting for. Screw fundamentals, it's going to go to the moon. Keep in mind here that ETH is the only coin besides Bitcoin and perhaps XRP that is likely to be well known outside of the crypto circles. Within crypto, it's of course always had huge mind share. Anyone not holding ETH loves to dance on its grave whenever they get a chance and share in the drama of Ethereum. And the Ethereum Foundation, of course, gets a ton of attention because ETH is still the best major player besides Bitcoin. Plus, if you do want to find a narrative to justify a run on ETH, you can turn to real-world assets, for example. Ethereum is the totally dominant chain for the sector. Just look at BlackRock's Biddle Fund, $2.7 billion on ETH. Next nearest competitor is Aptos with $50 million. Ethereum is top dog for now, at least in this use case. So look, there's plenty of solid use cases for ETH, even if a lot of the main chain criticisms remain. DeFi, institutional stuff, real world assets, some meme coins like Pepe live there. It's number 2 blockchain market cap. It's still kind of a big deal. So in terms of hunting out coins that have yet to run, the risk return looks really pretty decent, still 50% at all-time highs. Plus, there are tech improvements coming for Ethereum. Before we get into that, a huge thank you to Crypto.com for sponsoring this video. You can check out the link in the description to get started today. Take your crypto trading to the next level with the Crypto.com exchange, the most licensed exchange in the industry, trusted by over 140 million users across 90 countries. That is epically big. Whether you're into spot trading, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the top meme coins, you want to use some bots, you want to do some dollar cost averaging, some grid bots, robust API access, that's all here, man. Preferential fees of their VIP program make it even better. Look, I've been using Crypto.com for years. It's fast, secure, reliable, and there's a link down below where you can get signed up today. Go check it out, and thank you for supporting our sponsors. Now, let's talk about the tech. ETH tech. Number go up tech, of course, always best, but 3 big items note here: Pectra, Fusaka, and Risk V. Just sum that up real quick. Pectra already happened a few days ago. It's the biggest network upgrade since the merge when Ethereum switched from proof of work over to proof of stake. It brings smarter wallets with better user experience, advanced staking efficiency, a slew of technical improvements to boost layer 2 scaling. Yay, better layer 2 scaling, not layer 1 scaling, screw layer 1. Anyway, Fusaka, next big thing, that's coming later this year. It's planned for like Q3, Q4, assuming all the test nets go well. Attention around Fusaka is all about changing the Ethereum virtual machine, which executes the Ethereum network smart contracts with an upgrade called EOF. That's EVM object format, which essentially should create a more efficient developer environment. Although, of course, this being Ethereum, not everyone agrees, okay? Now, Risk V might be a few years out, guys, if we're being honest here. This is a machine language architecture that could potentially completely replace the Ethereum virtual machine, which is pretty clunky tech by most accounts these days in crypto. That's according to a radical proposal from Vitalik Buterin himself that would improve scalability on the layer 1, the execution layer, and it also means developers could write smart contracts in Rust as well as the relatively clunky Solidity. That's a lot of development. That's some big ideas. Risk V again might be a couple years out. Don't expect that anytime soon, okay? But when you hear all this, does that sound bullish or at all FOMO generating? If so, then you know what we've got some decent narratives to justify a rally. Big tech upgrades coming for Ethereum, ETH to the moon, baby. Ethereum was pretty badly lagging for a while, still lagging behind Bitcoin dramatically. It's still 50% under its all-time high, whereas Bitcoin's 50% over its previous all-time high. But it's pushing forward on the tech front, and maybe that's actually going to fulfill ETH's potential this cycle. But also, to be clear, the bullishness I'm feeling or looking at for ETH right now is here for the rest of this cycle, and you want to make sure to take profits. Obviously, you don't want to be a bag holder when the bear market hits, because those ETH criticisms are still very, very real, and ETH's probably a great buy in the next bear market, but just keep that in mind. Now, this is something we went through in detail in the depressing decline of Ethereum video I made just the other week, okay? But just the TLDR, some of the main problems are layer 2s are not bringing value to the ETH token. Oh, great, layer 2s just got a big upgrade with the Pectra upgrade. Does that mean anything positive for the actual main chain? Not really. In fact, layer 2s siphon value away from the main chain and destroy ETH's prospects to some extent as an investment asset. There are better smart contract chains also that have more growth to enjoy and are already out competing Ethereum. Chief among those, of course, Solana, which has 1/4 of the market cap and beats ETH on the majority of metrics like DEX volume, total daily users, all that kind of stuff. Now that looks great if you check the DeFi and stablecoin growth, a lot of other metrics too. Sui. Apparently it's Sway. Everybody says Sui. The best name, Sui. Picking up traction, works smoothly, nice chain, dramatically undervalued compared to ETH. There are many others jockeying for position. Also, a report from the end of last year showed Ethereum losing devs while Solana was gaining devs. And I'm not surprised because nothing meaningful has been built on Ethereum really in the last 2 years. In terms of transactions, active addresses, again, Solana outpacing Ethereum and its layer 2s effing combined. Come on, that's crazy. Also, to reiterate the key point here, no one's really doing much meaningful on Ethereum these days. Think about what's been launched on ETH recently. Eigenlayer. That was 2023, man. It's 2 years ago. 2 effing years ago, guys. For long term, I still think it makes sense to remain, let's say, cautiously optimistic on Ethereum. All the criticisms I have still stand, and I'm not personally adding back to my Ethereum spot bags right now. I think there are much better risk reward coins out there. Like if you believe ETH is gonna run to 10K, and it probably does, then why not buy Pepe, man? Or Solana, or Sui, all of which are highly likely to do more than 300% gains if ETH does 300% gains. But that doesn't change the fact that if you're holding ETH, or you want probably a very quote-unquote low-risk bet, ETH can still make money in a bull run. Ultimately then, what's key here is to know your time frames. If you're a very long-term ETH holder and you just believe deeply in ETH, and you just want to buy it and stake it and hold it for 2 decades, fair enough, man. But otherwise, the point is that ETH can deliver returns from here this cycle, and it's not a highly risky play. We're not in meme coin territory here, and you're not going to get rug pulled by the ETH devs, obviously. And there's something to be said for that. Some people are going to be really, really happy with 300% gains from here to wherever the heck the market peaks out at. That also means there are plenty of coins, again, they're going to dramatically outperform ETH if we get something close to a proper altcoin season from smaller layer 1s and memes and AI coins. But it's riskier. You're taking more risk. So ETH probably outperforms Bitcoin from here to the rest of the cycle. But it'll underperform basically everything else in the market. But then you're taking more risk. Something to consider. Again, I like ETH, and I know people will like, but you say critical things of it from time to time. I was criticizing the shit out of it when it was my bag, too. And I'll continue to hold ETH's feet to the fire in the future. I want it to succeed. I want ETH to be the best it possibly can be, and it can be a hell of a lot better than it is right now. And my money is quite literally elsewhere at the moment. That doesn't mean I'm wishing ETH to fail, or if you have ETH bags, that I'm not wishing for you to make money. Very clearly I am, and I want you to make money. And you probably will make some pretty good money, but my money's on other coins. Let me know what you think down below. Thanks for watching.